So here we are, the day before the premiere. So things are getting prepared. We've got some festoon lights up, so they look pretty cool when they're obviously on at night. But I'm going to be putting up some streamers, some balloons, and then yeah, tomorrow we put up the screen, get the projector set up. Make sure everything's tidy, clean, and ready to go. So, onwards and upwards. So we're here, we're at a premiere day, which is terrifying yet exciting, but hey, look, we're on the set. um, yeah. I don't think I've processed that like we're done. I mean, we're not done. We've still got to submit to festivals, but you know, the hard work is done now. Now we show it off to everyone, including this lovely little set, which has been our home for the last like 9 months, which is crazy. But yeah, sad to see it end, but also glad. um, it's been a journey, but yeah, I'm very excited to dress this up to show everyone the amazing work that is taking place within these 3 walls. Hello and welcome to episode 9 of What's Behind the Devil's Door. It's a behind the scenes look at what it's taken to create our upcoming short film, The Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. Now, today's episode is our penultimate episode. Yes, it's one more episode to go in this series, just one more, and then we release our short film. So if you haven't already, now is the perfect time to subscribe to this YouTube channel. By subscribing to this YouTube channel, you'll receive the latest updates by hitting that notification bell on all the upcoming content, including the release of the film. So if you haven't already, subscribe now, like this video if you are enjoying this journey, and comment below what you have enjoyed so far. I'd love to find out. So let me know in the comments below. And yeah, without further ado, let's get cracking on what I'm terming the Sea Trials, which is the private premiere launch of our film with a bunch of exclusives for the audience in attendance. We had obviously put so much love, energy, and dedication into bringing this film to life, and we were so ready to showcase this to our close family and friends. The one thing though, when you submit to festivals, you've got to keep in mind that they do not want you to publicly screen your film. So the way we went around this is by showcasing our film in our backyard in order to get feedback before we submit to festivals. So how exactly did I craft the launch of The Devil in the Deep Blue Sea in my backyard? Well, first things first, you need a few crucial things. You will be needing a projector screen, and you also need some decent speakers as well. In terms of the projector, I was able to get an Epson projector, which was secondhand and on the cheap. It is over 10 years old, but the quality that it produced on the screen was nothing short of spectacular. It was crystal clear. The contrast between the black and the white and all the different shades really showcased themselves on that projector screen. So very, very grateful that I was able to score that projector. So in terms of getting a projector screen, I obviously did my research and found that there were a lot of options that were either too big, too small, frightfully expensive, or required additional things such as stands to help prop up the screen. Now obviously I wanted to keep this as low budget as possible, so I found myself at a local automotive shop of all places, and I found the right size screen that just worked perfectly. I was able to hook this up with some screw hooks to our pergola, and it also came with some additional rope that I could tie down to the sandbags that we had when filming Devil as well. So it actually worked out quite well, and with these sandbags tying it down, we were able to prevent the screen from being gone with the wind. Got in a film pun. Yes. Now, in terms of speakers, I already had a decent set of speakers with these Logitech speakers that I actually have attached to my computer now. They also come with a subwoofer. So when I was testing this out before we had the launch, I obviously put these speakers on full blast, and I was able to check whether I could actually hear it from far away. And my God, these speakers, they are loud. They are so loud, but they were perfect for what we needed. They were small, they were compact, and we could easily hear the film from meters down the grass. So it was a perfect fit for what we needed on that night. Now, with those core things organized, it was time to prepare the exclusives. And one of those I have in my hand right now. It's an exclusive passenger boarding pass aboard the SS Titan. And each and every one of the attendees that came to the premiere received one of these. So how did I actually make these? To craft the boarding passes, I took some heavy inspiration from this replica Titanic boarding pass that I got from the Titanic exhibit a few years back. Now, I obviously wanted to pay homage to this when creating these boarding passes, so I headed straight to Canva and crafted the SS Titan boarding passes with similar ornamentation and color palette. But when it actually came to crafting who these passengers were and their lives and their fates, I actually had no idea how I was meant to generate over 30 lives. So I ended up heading to ChatGPT to help me craft these passengers, their lives and their class and their fates. And it was actually a great help in the end. It saved me a lot of time when it came to making these boarding passes, because once I had all that information gathered, I was able to individually copy and paste pretty much basically all that information to each and every boarding pass that I made. And once I had all that finalized, I was able to put 2 passenger boarding passes next to each other on one A4 page and got them printed on some really fine card to make it look something similar to the one that I have in my hand right now. And they turned out so well. Like, the homage is pretty clear, but on the night, we handed these out to the people that came along to the screening, and it created this really nice talking point. Everyone wanted to know about these passengers, about who they were, where they'd come from, and why they were taking the journey. And they also want to find out, most importantly, whether they survived the sinking. Now, after the screening, we had a list of the passengers who survived the sinking and those who didn't make it. And it created this really nice story on the night. It really made everyone interact with each other in the audience and was a great icebreaker, if you don't mind the pun there. It was a really great icebreaker to get people talking to each other. In terms of the set tour, it was a bit of a mess since we had wrapped filming. So I tidied up the set, put the newspapers back up on the wall, put the paintings back in their frames, and dusted off the desk ready for the limelight once again. And I got my sister to help out with the professional photography of this so we could get some high quality photos for those in attendance. So that way the passengers that came aboard were able to get an exclusive memento of their time, not only visiting the set, but being a part of the whole exclusive experience of seeing the film for the first time. To bring this celebratory moment to life, we obviously needed some additional decorations, including some balloons, some streamers, and of course cake. But this wasn't just any cake. This was actually 3 pre-baked mud cakes that we sliced the tops off and we put them together with some delicious frosting. Put a decorative plastic axe on top, did some chocolate ganache as well, and we put some red jelly around the bottom of the cake too, just to add that little extra layer. Having this private premiere screening was actually so beneficial. The feedback that we got about the film was really, really crucial. The audience in attendance really loved the sound design, the cinematography, and the potential that this story has to translate to a feature film. So if you're a producer watching this, hint, hint, I've got a story for you. But the one thing that really alerted me when we were watching this film was that we actually had to watch it over once more as a way to gauge further understanding of the story, the characters, and the decisions that they make. And obviously I took on that feedback and adjusted the film as much as I could in the final edit before sending it off to film festivals as a way to eliminate this vagueness about the ending of the film. But that was actually the whole intention the whole time, to have this open ending, to actually give you, the audience, the agency to make your own decision about what actually happened, to have your own interpretation, because no matter how many times you actually would watch this film, you could come back with 1,000 different interpretations of the story, the world, and the characters, and the decisions that they make. And I truly believe that's the power that Devil has. It has this really raw sense of rewatchability, because it doesn't matter how many times you watch it, you'll come back and have a different experience every time. But I have taken on that feedback of having some elements deliberately vague, so in the next film maybe things won't be so vague. So we'll see what happens. But that was the Sea Trials. That actually was the private premiere screening, and we had such a blast on that night. It was so much fun, and honestly, showcasing it off and getting that feedback was so incredibly beneficial, and I'm incredibly grateful for everyone who came along to support the film and the exclusive premiere screening. And I actually can't believe I'm saying this, but we're going to be moving on to the final episode. So yet again, if you haven't already, subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit that notification bell as well so you don't miss any upcoming content coming your way, including the release of the film in the next coming months. So comment below as well what you've enjoyed along the journey and in this episode, and give this video a like as well if you have loved this video. But other than that, this is your captain signing out. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, we will see you in the final episode of What's Behind the Devil's Door. So until then, this is your captain signing out. Have a really great day, night, evening, morning, whenever you're watching this. See you later.